Hi everyone, it's Karen. So once again, someone has asked me to show how a certain technique is done in Silhouette Studio. In this case, I'm showing you how to place an initial, which can then be used as a monogram, inside a pattern with a little bit of an offset that shows like a halo effect here, and then put that all together. So to do this, I've now grouped it and I'm just going to move it out of the way. I'm actually going to delete it right now and I'm going to start you through the process. First thing I'm going to do is open up my zebra print file, which I have in my overlays, and it's a zebra stripe file I created. So this already has a border around it, but I'm going to show you what to do if you don't have that. I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so now you see that you have no border around this, and you want to create one. So I'm going to choose a square. I'm going to make it a perfect square just inside my pattern. And with that still selected, I'm going to choose offset. It is not selected, so I need to go in and select that red line. And I want to make sure that it's that's selected and not the zebra stripes. So then I click offset, and I want it a little bit wider than that. So I'm going to type in 0.2. No, even more than that. Let's see, 0.3. And I want it square, and then I'll apply. And then what I need to do is I need to create a compound path out of this. Let's say the inner square first, and then the outer square, and then I'll right click and make a compound path. Because remember, these pieces will not weld together unless your square is a compound path to start with. Now you can see that you've got a frame around your pattern. I'm going to fill this with color so that you can see it better. Okay, and let's go back and I'll show you what it was without the frame. Here it is without the frame, so I'll select all these pieces and I'll fill them with color. And now you see there's no frame around here. So it's a completely different look than what we had in the beginning. So I'm going to delete all of this, and I'm going to go back to the piece I had to start with because it had the frame already. So I'm going to open up my zebra stripe file again, double click it, and there we go. And I'll fill it with color so that you can see that it's got the, I need to select it first. Now you can see there is a frame around this overlay. So to create your monogram, click your text button, choose a font, and I'm going to use Alana Pro over here, and I'm going to type in my initial. I'm going to make it bigger than that so that it fits well into that frame. I think even a little bit larger, because I won't necessarily be cutting this frame at this size, but I just want this to work well together. So that looks pretty good. And I'm going to convert this to a path. I'm going to color this pink so that it will be easier to see and follow along. I'm going to place it in the middle. I'm going to choose all of this and center it. Center it all to the page. And then I'm going to select just my K, my letter. I'm going to click offset. And again, I'm going to choose offset, and it's going to be just a slight offset. If you can see the red line in there, I'll zoom in so you can see it. This is where the red line is, and it's actually a little bit more than what I want. So I'm going to delete that line, and I'm going to start that over. Click offset, and I'm going to make it a little bit less than that. I just want it to be a very tiny halo. Let's say 0.100. Then I'll zoom back out. Now with my offset behind there, I'm going to select that red line, and if you want to be sure about selecting the right line, you can zoom in, select the line, go to your modify window. You also need to select your pattern, so just be sure that your mouse cursor is on your pattern, on your overlay. Press shift and then click. Then both will be selected, and now you can subtract all. You can zoom back out and you'll see that you now have that halo in there. So you can see that you've got the halo effect, but you need to get rid of that red line because that's a cutting line. So let's zoom in again so you can be sure of removing the right thing. Click the line and press delete. And you see you're just left with the halo effect and there's no cutting line there. So we'll zoom back out, and if you want to cut this, click your cut settings icon in the top right. You're going to see that only the K is set to cut, and that's because this was brought in as an SVG file and you need to set the cut line for this. So I'll click cut, and now you'll see that everything here will cut out. If you don't want that, just remove the cut line from where you don't want it. Just choose no cut. If you move this out of the way, you'll see that that halo is there. And to bring it back in, just click the undo button until it goes back into place. So I hope that's been helpful to you. Thanks so much for watching.